They lift a nigga down, but I had to come up. Yeah, hustle from the back down into the sun up. I had to switch up, nigga, no, I ain't mad at you. I just had to come up and look at just what that bag could do. I charged into the game, cause I said I won't complain. Ain't been no sunny days, I had to get it out the rain. Look.
What's going on? Back plugged in again. What your boy the Prophet? Hey yo. So today, man, we're back plugged in again for another video. Bleach Brave Souls, you guys already know to play. And so today, this is a video that I feel like I really need to make. I did one of these some time ago, but I wanted to just go ahead. We have a lot of new players and there's a lot of information that's very confusing. And this is one of the most asked questions in live streams or just, you know, in comments in general. And that question is, what stat do you put on which character? So that's going to be a question and I'm going to answer. It's very, very simple. There are a couple exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, it's very, very simple. So, and this is how you do it, guys. All you want to do is you want to take a look at the character stats and skills. The first thing you want to look at is what's their link. If it's damage reduction, normal attack damage, something like last ditch, sometimes a lot of times those links are automatically going to mean you're going to give your character an attack first slot, okay? But the main factor is if you look and you see the skill called flurry. Flurry means that your normal attacks deal double damage. So your normal attacks being, you know, your standard regular attacks right here, those are going to deal twice the damage. So if you have a character that has flurry, you are automatically going to give them an attack first slot. Now, here's the thing, okay? And we're talking about first slots, we're talking about transcendent slot, okay? So, and here's another question. You guys, some of you newer players might be wondering, how do I get multiple transcendent slots open for a character? And that's by having multiple copies of a character. So I'll show you here. So as you see here, it says his special move level is a 5 of 5, which means that I have 5 duplicates of this character. Okay, so when you have this, when you have duplicates, you are going to each duplicate allows you to get an additional transcendent slot. So that also increases the damage that your soul bomb does by 20% every dupe that you get. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, with this character, just like the last one, he has a damage taken, which is called, you know, negative damage reduction. So he has a damage reduction link and he has the skill called flurry. Just like the other character that we just looked at. So that automatically means that his best source of damage are his normal attacks, which are these, just the standard attacks that your character does. Not any of your strong attacks or your special move, but your normal attacks are what's going to do crazy damage with this character, okay? So whenever you see a character with damage reduction, flurry, you are automatically going to give them an attack slot, okay? And the second slot, here's the thing. If you're going to use a character for PvP, for damage purposes, the second slot should always be focus. That's if you just want your character to hit very, very hard. Focus is always going to be the second best option for damage. There's no exception to that. So it's always going to be normal attack and focus. If you have an SP based character, you're going to give him spiritual pressure first and then focus second. We'll talk about that in a moment. As far as PvP goes, this is very important. HP is better than defense in PvP. The only time I would say like defense is good is as a last stat. I'm not saying that's not the only time, but defense is very, very good for PvP because it has this crazy scaling where if your defense isn't above the character's attack, they won't even do any damage to you. So what happens is when you go into PvP, there's this thing that happens where your stamina gets like multiplied by some number. I'm not exactly sure, but like when you start the PvP match, it tells you how much stamina people have. Sometimes it says like they might have like 40,000 or 50,000. Like there's no way to get that much stamina unless you're specking fully for stamina. So what happens is in PvP, your stamina gets basically magnified. So defense is very, very good, but stamina is better because it scales harder in PvP. I always do like to go stamina for a third stat just to kind of reduce the damage that they do to me by as much as I can. And that generally does work. But just so you guys know, for your third or your second, like sometimes you might want to go for PvP purposes only. You might want to go normal attack, stamina, defense, focus. That's just going to help you survive the longest if you're not really too much caring about how much, just wiping out units as quick as possible. So that's it for PvP. For most PvP characters, you never want to waste the 10 scrolls for the 50 scrolls for SP unless you really just like using that character and you want to mag transcended, or you just want the flex. Simple as that. I have a lot of other PvP characters that are 5 of 5, but I didn't use their other slot. So here's the main topic of discussion for any character, and this is going to be 85% of the character that you get. They are going to have the skill called Frenzy. What Frenzy is your strong attacks deal double damage. So all of these attacks. So when you have Frenzy characters, you're not going to be using your normal attacks that much. All right. So every single Frenzy character you get, what you want to do is you want to give them spiritual pressure as a first slot and focus as a second slot. There is no exception to this rule. There's not one exception. Any character that has a skill called Frenzy, you want to give them level 10 SP, and then you want to give them level 10 focus second. The third option is attack for your third slot, but nothing else really is going to make a difference. It's going to give you more survivability. So if you see here, like my Aizen, for example, he's Max Transcendent. This is exactly what a Max Transcendent character is supposed to look like, stats and skill wise. Okay, this is how your stats are supposed to be oriented: SP, focus, attack. And then these two really don't matter as much. They're not going to help your damage. They help you survive. And then you want to get spiritual pressure, or you want to get focus for this last slot. It's pretty much as simple as that. Like I said, there's literally no exceptions to the rule. So, I mean, if you take a look at my characters, take a look at my roster. Like, okay, so he's a PvP character, but all these characters have level 10 SP. Level 10 SP. Level 10 SP, level 10 SP, and I got him 2 of 5, so he has 10 SP and 10 focus. But yeah, so getting that character's focus to level 10 as well as their spiritual pressure to level 10 is going to literally elevate the character to to the highest level that they can be, right? So pretty much there's not many exceptions to the rule. If you guys are wondering how to get a lot of transcendence points and stuff like that for re-rolling, you can only get those by summoning, farming the point event, and by basically selling characters. So that's basically it. So just grind hard. But yeah, I do get asked that question a lot. As far as what question, I see people in PvP that have SP characters with stamina or attack first, and I'm just like, why? Like, why are you like this? So yeah, man, that's pretty much going to be the video. If you guys have any of the link slot potion characters, try to get them to level 5 or level 10 SP and at least 10 link slots, because they're going to be using those characters a lot. Other than that, man, everything is pretty linear. So if you guys have any questions or concerns as far as what slots you should be putting on for Transcendence, make sure you weigh in the comment section, and you can join my Discord as well, which will always be linked in the description. Till next time, Pop Nation, love y'all.
I'll make a way. All them people done got it made.